There are 1,000 reasons to turn around and only one to keep going, because you said you would. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "The ultimate measure of a man or woman is not where he or she stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he or she stands in times of challenge and controversy." I want to look at this quote backwards this morning. That is, what you do in the moments of comfort and convenience. You see, that might be even more life-defining. Let me explain. Climbing Mount Everest has become a symbol for many people as the pinnacle of personal achievement, the ultimate trophy to be had, to be able to say that you climbed the highest mountain available to mankind. It is an arduous climb that requires the very best of you to make it to the top. One climber said, "It forces you to look deep inside yourself and figure out if you really have the physical as well as the mental toughness to push when you want to stop, to continually hit your wall and continually break through it. There are 1,000 reasons to turn around and only one to keep going, because you said you would." But get this, of all the deaths that have occurred on Everest over an 80-year period of time, 73% of them occurred not going up, but coming down. The descent going down is 4.8 times more dangerous than the ascent going up. Why? Because when you are climbing up, you are fully in the struggle. The struggle has your full attention. And that climber, as he said, you are forced to focus, forced to dig deep inside yourself, forced to push yourself. But on the descent, you can relax. You lose focus. You aren't summoning all that you have, you get lazy. On the descent, your adrenaline is lower and your concentration is less acute. You let complacency set in or allow for overconfidence, and that is where more deaths occur. This happens in your life as well. It's easy to pay attention to your kids when they're in a crisis. It's easy to give your spouse the attention they need when you are hit with the "we have to talk" line. It's easy to cut sugar and carbs out of your diet when you get diagnosed with diabetes or you're a month away from your wedding. In your business, it's easy to cut costs when you run out of money and can't make your bank loan. It's easy to let go of non-productive people when you are forced to do layoffs. It's easy to focus on customer experience after a PR crisis. Back in 2002, Sony and Nokia had the mobile phone market by the tail. They were by far the most prominent players in the burgeoning business. Apple and Samsung weren't even in the mobile game yet. Based on Nokia and Sony's dominant market share, strong consumer brands, and their existing hardware and cellular capabilities, they were on an assured path to continue their exponential growth. So what happened? Nokia and Sony literally fell off the mountain to their death. They got lazy. They relaxed. They stopped pushing. They stopped innovating. They stopped summoning the best they had. They lost focus and fell. So, if I may, I'd like to make an adjustment to MLK's quote here. The ultimate measure of a man or woman is not only where he or she stands at times of challenge and controversy, but also, and maybe even more important, when it's easy to drift and lose focus in moments of comfort and convenience. I have seen achievers who literally go from crisis to crisis. A crisis is the only thing that gets their attention. If they are not in a crisis, they create one. A crisis is the only thing that gets them to take action. This is not healthy. This causes them to yo-yo. They create success and then fall into failure. They rise from the ashes, create success, and then fall into failure again, over and over. That is no way to achieve or to live. If they only kept doing what they did to create the success while they were successful, they'd not only sustain success, but have it multiply on itself. What I want to suggest to you here this morning is, 1, be as vigilant when times are good as you are when they are bad. Keep your focus, keep digging deep, keep pushing yourself, always. 2, the best time to repair the roof is when it's sunny outside. When it starts to rain, it's too late. But often, that is the only time people wake up to the disrepair of their house. As Warren Buffett said, when the tide goes out, you get to see who's been swimming naked. Every function you'd perform in a turnaround situation is what needs to be diligently considered always. In business, that means intelligent cost cutting, trimming your product lines and focusing on your winners, streamlining your internal processes, personal visits and staying close to your customers, investing in the development of your people, pushing for innovation, running experiments and testing, refining your market strategy for maximum leverage, keeping pressure on growth. If you aren't growing, you are dying. In your personal life, that means assessing and improving your diet, adjusting your workouts to break plateaus, reprioritizing and trimming your to-do list, reprioritizing and trimming your relationships, reducing expenses and growing your investments, refining your goals, plans, and work methods, pushing yourself for continual improvement. If you aren't improving, you are falling behind. So remember, while the ascent is thrilling and adrenaline-filled, it is the descent, when the pressure is off, where 73% of people fall to their death. Stay vigilant. Now, while the average folk in the world look at it as if they are on the downhill slope and can start to relax, we know from what we talked about today that this mentality is dangerous. The descent is where so many fall to their death in business and in life, metaphorically speaking. Now, more than ever, you need to be focused on your goals, staying vigilant. This is exactly why I put together the Insane Productivity Program. Everything you need to keep that focus and vigilance and give you the tools and proven strategies on how to multiply your productive output so that you can live the life that you were meant to live and be the beacon of inspiration to all those around you is baked inside. A heroic journey awaits you inside of Insane Productivity. Click the link below, gain the tools to become insanely productive, insanely fast, and do it all sanely.